Hello everyone, and welcome to the Puyo segment of the RadioSEGA Winterfest 2016 podcast. I'll be your host, Tucker, and I'm joined here today with Stool Softener. S2, introduce yourself.
I'm Stool Softener, also known as Stupid, or S2 for short. I'm one of the leaders over at Puyo Nexus, a website for the English Puyo community.
So yeah, we're going to be playing some of our favorite Puyo tracks suggested by members of the Puyo Nexus Discord, and in between tracks, we'll be interrogating S2 about Puyo in case you aren't sure what that's all about. With that being said, sit back, get your cup of hot cocoa, maybe sit by a fire with a warm blanket and a nice pair of headphones, and we'll be on our merry, merry way.
Live shows and community content all weekend long.
You're listening to RadioSEGA's Winterfest 2016.
Okay, S2, so tell me, because I have absolutely no idea. What on earth is Puyo?
Okay, so Puyo's a Match 4 puzzle game that was originally made by Compile. It actually spun off from an RPG series from the 80s called Mado Monogatari. That series centered around a girl named Aurel Naja. She's like a magician in training, and she goes on these really random and crazy adventures where she just goes and kills random things, sometimes for fun, sometimes to graduate kindergarten, sometimes to kill, like, God.
She's been through some stuff.
Yeah, some very terrible and horrific things. Like, those dungeon crawlers from the 80s, it just has like the random shock stuff in it. So, eventually in the 90s though, Compile wanted to make something trendier and more accessible to like a wider audience, or just something fun.
Yeah.
So,
didn't they look at Dr. Mario and Street Fighter?
Yeah, so...
And they're like,
Yeah, so they looked at Tetris and Columns and 2, I think, and Dr. Mario, and they saw the gameplay and they wanted to make their own version. But to differentiate themselves from those games, the creator of the Puyo series, like, he went to arcades and did some research, and he noticed that what really made just any versus game fun is to have characters supporting it and just, like shouting things at each other and calling out their attacks.
And nice graphics.
Yeah, and nice graphics. So, when in 1991, Compile released the first Puyo game for
MSX and the Famicom.
Yeah, for those, yeah.
But that was just like a bare bones. It was just like endless Puyo, like single player.
Oh, those are like prototypes. Like, who cares about those?
But yeah, then they eventually released the arcade version in 1992, which had like a competitive story mode.
So in between each fight of the story mode, you would have like little dialogue between the characters where they would just like crap talk each other. So that's what really made the game catch on with a lot of people, just like how fun and outrageous it was.
Puyo was really popular in the arcade.
Yeah, and then it got even more popular because after the release of the second version, which had like some balance fixes to it, like people started playing it like at real tournaments, and some of these tournaments were like really huge and filled up like stadiums. Like if you go on YouTube and search up for like the 1997 Puyo Masters tournament, you'll see these people like cosplaying and like fighting each other, and like the whole crowd shouting along. So it was really hype in Japan back then. But when Puyo was released, like somehow it didn't get that many like localized releases here, except for 2 versions that everyone probably knows it better by: Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine for the Genesis, and Kirby's Avalanche for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Kirby's Avalanche came like 2 years after, because it was...
Yeah, so like Dr. Robotnik was 1993, and then Kirby's Avalanche was in 1995. But a lot of people, like gamers around like 20 to 30 years old nowadays, they grew up playing those.
I know I did.
Yeah, me too, I think. But yeah, those 2 games hold a lot of memories for people, and unfortunately they cause like brand confusion since people still think Puyo.
Oh yeah, they'll look at it and they'll be like, this is just Mean Bean Machine, and we've got to be like, no. Listen, there's a long confusing history.
Yeah. But there was a couple other games released in the US though, like Puyo Pop for the Game Boy Advance. Maybe some people might know it from there. The Puyo Pop Fever for the GameCube, I think. and the Xbox, the OG Xbox.
Almost like every platform, really.
Yeah, but only a couple got released in English. For the DS too.
Right.
Yeah. So you might know it from there, but I don't know. A lot of people don't like how cute Puyo Pop Fever 1 was, so yeah.
Well, that's too darn bad, because Puyo Pop Fever is my favorite Puyo game. Or Puyo Fever. Whatever, they're the same. Just one's Japanese and one isn't. So I don't know if this is well known, but Puyo wasn't originally developed by Sega.
Yeah, so like around like the early 2000s, Compile went bankrupt for various reasons. Mainly just like money management issues. So they had to sell the rights to the Puyo series to Sega. I mean, Sega was already working with them pretty often, like bringing their Puyo games to arcades. So they've already been working for a long time. They worked on Puyo 4 together, the fourth Puyo game. So Sega already had a good relationship with Compile, so they just bought the rights to it.
I believe they even published on like other platforms like the N64 as well, which caused the rare exception to where you can see Sega's name in a game for a Nintendo system.
Yeah, I mean like Puyo 4, that was released on the Nintendo 64, right?
I think so. So was Sun.
Yeah, but Sega had like a larger hand in the development of the fourth game.
Ooh, and the Game Boy Color.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, Sega took the rights to the Puyo series. They released Puyo Pop Game Boy Advance, and then they started the Fever series, really like rebooted everything. But to be honest, like Sega's gotten really good with the way they've been handling the Puyo series. Like the graphics are really nice and actually much more unique in my opinion than like there's a lot of division about this within the Puyo community, like whether people like the older art from the 90s or the modern art from like 2000 and onwards. But I mean, the old anime art's nice.
It's pretty generic.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's like generic, kind of, in my opinion.
And then Puyo got its footing because the newer art style is not necessarily Japanese, it's actually more Western. And I think that's what makes it more unique.
Yeah, it's like comic book like.
Thick outlines.
Thick lines, whatever, but it's really clean and like just fun to look at, so.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. So Sega did a good job. Don't hate on them too much just because he ruined like Sonic.
It's cold outside. Why not stay in and enjoy some quality Sega tunes?
You're listening to Radio Sega's Winterfest 2016. You're listening to Radio Sega's Winterfest 2016.
For our full programming schedule, check out radiosega.net.
You're listening to Radio Sega's Winterfest 2016.
Get chilly with it.
Hello, my name is Steelix100, and my favorite Puyo song is the Versus Mode theme from Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
You're listening to Radio Sega's Winterfest 2016.
So Sega just recently dropped their newest Puyo Puyo game, Puyo Puyo Chronicle. What's that all about?
Okay, so this year is the 25th anniversary of Puyo Puyo. So, like, on every 5th anniversary, Sega likes to celebrate the series by releasing a really big compilation Puyo game with, like, a ton of game modes, a really long story, and a bunch of characters.
It's like a fan service game, basically.
Yeah, just fan service. So this year's fan service game was Puyo Puyo Chronicle. But they actually did a pretty big twist than what they normally do. So usually, like, the story mode and stuff has always been like arcade-like. You just like fight 8 people, like 8 characters with dialogue in between, like one short cutscene. But now in Puyo Chronicles, they changed the story mode to be more RPG-like. Like you have an overworld you can walk around in, and like random enemy encounters to do. And they also changed up the gameplay for that, and they introduced like field changing skills and other stuff. Like you fight with 3 characters at one time, equip items, do lots and lots of fetch quests.
Yeah.
Totally an RPG, but it gives you stuff to do, and it unlocks stuff like that's how you unlock all the characters and get stronger for the skill battle mode on online.
It's also pretty ironic because now they're kind of teasing at their older roots. Like Puyo Puyo was a spin-off of Mado Monogatari, and now Puyo Puyo is returning to its Mando Monogatari roots.
Yeah, like calling back to their RPG roots, and also like there was also another there was actually already a Puyo Puyo RPG called Puyo Puyo Box. It's similar in the same way that you have an overworld to walk around in and like experience to grind, but it was a lot less thought out or well designed and pretty jank. Yeah, but Puyo Puyo Chronicle is fun. Like, so I recently beat the game. Like, I was about like 1 or 2 days after it came out, based on the Japanese release date. But like the game started off pretty easy at first. Like, I was one-shotting everything and feeling pretty cool about myself. But then like everything started getting like crazy amounts of HP, and then like okay, Onion Pixie, you know, that trash character from Puyo Fever 1, like he comes back. Okay, spoiler, but he comes back in the final dungeon, and like holy crap, like I did a 12 chain to him, a 12 chain. Like most people can't even do like a 2.
Yes.
I did a 12 chain, and he didn't die in 1 hit. I was like, what? Why do I have to keep fighting? Like, why are these enemies so strong?
It's kind of refreshing to see Sega cater to the more hardcore demographic and the difficulty. Because, like, we both thought this was just going to be a game we could just easily blow through, but it's actually challenging.
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot of fun. Not to intimidate new players, because, I mean, there's like a full-fledged Puyo game on the side that you can enjoy as well. And even then, there's probably, like, there's equipment and grinding you could probably get through using that as well.
Yeah, you can level up your characters to make it easier to fight the bosses. And like, you could just like pass the bosses through like healing, like just healing skills and stuff you can use to not die. So it's not as bad as like I might have made it out to be, but it's still fun for beginners too, I think.
Yeah, we'll find out soon.
Yeah, we'll find out when...
It just recently dropped. We don't have a lot of people with it because it's only on 3DS. And if you know anything about region locks, it's pretty crappy.
Yeah, there's like a lot of hoops you have to jump through just to play a Japanese game on your like United States 3DS. So people have to do mildly questionable things to get it. So yeah. It's only just now that people are starting to play it. So we'll see how it is for the rest of the people in our community.
They also made some nice tweaks to the online.
Oh yeah.
With the set count.
Oh yeah, so for some reason, like, since, like, the 15th anniversary game, like, Sega, they removed the point counter and just did, like, a set count, like, you know how fighting games work, right? Like, best of 3s or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, for some reason, they put that system in instead. But, like, for the past, like, 15 years before that, Puyo players have always been using the, like, counting by points. Like, first to 10 or first to 20 points.
Yeah.
Or first to 100. Yeah, people actually played for like 4 hours straight against each other. But anyways, like, that's just their routine. But like Sega, it was just a big inconvenience to only be able to do first to threes on like Sega's official software.
It actually makes it hard to do like tournaments too.
Yeah, it makes it hard to do tournaments. So Sega actually listened to their fans, like Puyo fans. It's pretty surprising, and so they brought back the point counter in Puyo Chronicles. So like, I'm really hoping that like that eventually like a Switch version or something of.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah, I hope like a Switch version of Puyo Chronicles comes out.
Because I don't see anybody like huddling around their 3DS to do a tournament, so we need a console Puyo for that stuff.
Yeah, so like a console game. Well, it's also portable, right? So yeah.
You don't even need a second controller; it's already on the system.
Yeah. So Puyo Chronicles is like very user friendly now, and it's going to become the standard game soon, I believe. So, well, this and Puyo Puyo Tetris, which we also never got. Still really sad about that.
Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.
Hi, my name is Nostalgia Ninja, and my favorite Puyo song is Area C from Puyo Puyo 2.
Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.
Radio Sega.
Playing the best Sega music 24/7.
Hey, my name's Seth, and my favorite track is Rising Comet from Puyo Puyo Fever 2.
Radio Sega. 10 years as Sega is.
My name is Vic, and my favorite Puyo song is Papoya's theme from Puyo Fever.
Enjoyed the show? Check out the full Radio Sega live schedule at radiose.ga/shows. Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7. Live shows and community content all weekend long.
You're listening to Radio Sega's Winterfest 2016. You're listening to Radio Sega's Winterfest 2016.
Alright, S2, tell me, why should Sega localize Puyo?
So, I really think Sega should localize Puyo Puyo because it just has a lot of potential here in the United States. Like, there's nothing else like it. Like, a real puzzle game that's actually worth paying $60 for, you know, instead of just like playing Candy Crush and selling your soul away. Like, Puyo Puyo is a real puzzle game that is actually really competitive. It requires like lots of real effort put into it, kind of just like any other fighting game. Like, and then not only that, it's like the characters, we mentioned this before, like how they're really cool and fun. Well, just unlike the characters alone, the Puyo Puyo mobile game called Puyo Puyo Quest, that makes over $5 million a month because, or more actually.
Yeah.
Like, Sega just releases new characters with like really nice, well-drawn designs, and like people just have to collect it because they're so cool.
They're really cute.
Yeah, they are really cute and powerful.
Yeah.
I love power. But yeah, people spend a lot of money rolling the gacha for that game because like there's just so many cool characters to collect. The tournament scene in Japan is actually becoming a lot more official. So back in like the 90s, most of the Puyo tournaments that ranked players, those were really just like things organized by the players themselves. It's like casually. But now like real like esports organizations are noticing Puyo players. And so ever since 2012 actually, Red Bull, they've been involved in esports for a while, but in 2012 they incorporated Puyo Puyo into their yearly tournament called the Red Bull 5G. So the Red Bull 5G stands for like 5 genres. So they play 5 genres of games and they get players from all around Japan to come to it and compete against each other. And one of the genres is puzzle. So in 2012, Puyo Puyo was chosen as a puzzle game, and it's actually stayed as the main puzzle game for the past 4 years. And so actually, on the 18th this month is the 2016 Red Bull 5G. So like, I hope anyone listening to this podcast will go and watch the Red Bull 5G. I don't know the exact time yet, but it's going to be really hype. Like, it's going to be played on Puyo Puyo Tetris for the PS4, so you'll have both Puyo players and Tetris players competing against each other.
And even if you miss it, it'll be archived.
Yeah, it'll be on like the Red Bull like Twitch channel. I'm just really excited for it because like not only does Puyo Puyo get like recognition like Tetris, Tetris has been getting pretty shafted in like recent years, like just because of like licensing issues.
Tetris Ultimate.
Yeah, because Tetris Ultimate was so bad, like the Tetris scene in the US, it kind of died pretty much. Like, you don't hear anyone talking about it anymore online. And then in Japan, like, it could have died, but Puyo Puyo Tetris is what's keeping it going, I feel. Although, and actually in like February, like, we all have this idea that Sega doesn't localize anything, but actually they're going to localize Puyo Puyo Tetris to Korean in February, so that's really interesting.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I had no idea. That was like totally unexpected, right?
I'm jealous.
It's really cool that they're going to localize Puyo Tetris for Koreans because there's the Korean Puyo scene is actually pretty strong.
Shoutouts to Puyoda.
Yeah, my favorite Korean Puyo senpai. No, but the Korean Puyo scene, like, actually back in the day, like around the early 2000s, like the top Korean and Japanese players would come together and have like country versus country fights where they see who would be better. That was really cool. I hope that happens again. And I hope that Puyo Tetris gives like just a way for them to keep growing as a scene. And also, not only that, like, I think there hasn't really been a Tetris game in Korea at all, right? So Puyo Puyo Tetris is something that caters to a lot of people. I feel like it's going to make puzzle games really great again.
It might even encourage more crossovers as well.
Yeah. So yeah, Sega's doing a really good job with the puzzle genre, something people assume can't be successful.
Right. And since we have a growing English scene, it'd be pretty nice to get them to cater to us as well so we can show our support.
Yeah, so like the scene in the West, in like the United States and Europe and Australia too. I guess it counts as West for our purposes. I don't even know. I'm just like throwing it around like as a generalization. But anyways, like everyone overseas outside of Japan, like there's growing Puyo scenes. So like over at Puyo Nexus, we hold like monthly tournaments that always have like pretty decent turnouts for just like an online organized event. Just like 30 people fighting each month. So a lot of people are really coming out of the woodwork, coming to fight each other and improve at the game. And in the process, like they learn more about the characters and like other things they wouldn't know without the help of other people with like, you know, Japanese knowledge and stuff. And more people are learning about the game, and like all of the tournaments are streamed. So like a lot of times you just network on Twitter and be like, yo, come look at these people fight with like these anime jellies.
Or even participate, because we do have beginners tournaments as well.
Yeah, it's really accessible for anyone. Like, even if you're super bad, you can join anyways and maybe win a free gift card. Like, we're doing everything we can to make it easy for people to come and join us with this game.
So, we have this really cool hashtag on Twitter called hashtag Puyo Chronicles for the West. What have we what have we got to show for that?
Yeah, so when Puyo Puyo Chronicles was announced, like everyone in the Puyo community was like, holy crap, we need this. Especially since like Sega, like after like the Atlas merger, I guess, right? They've been kind of on a roll with like finally localizing things and paying attention to what fans want. So following up on that, people were like, hey, maybe Puyo actually has a really good chance to get localized now. So I guess like you started it, right, on Twitter.
I didn't.
Hashtag Puyo Chronicles for the West. Or was it Dan?
It was Dan is White. Shout out to Dan is White.
Yeah, thanks for your good idea. So yeah, we started that hashtag and like bothered the crap out of the localization producer at Sega. And they actually responded on their personal accounts. It's like, wow, you killed us with all your Puyo tweets.
Yeah, there's a picture of Sam Mullen just being crushed by a giant green Puyo.
Yeah.
Oh, with a Twitter note on it.
So Sega has definitely noticed like the fan demand for Puyo Puyo Chronicles. So I'm hoping that by like getting more people to know about the series, the gameplay, the characters, and having more people participate in the tournaments, we can show the Sega that there's like a solid, profitable reason for them to localize the game here. And so, who knows what's in store for us in the future? Like, maybe.
Oh, Yakuza 6.
I don't know. I'm just praying
Yakuza 6.
that Sega will announce a localization. Oh yeah.
Or Yakuza.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
So. Yeah, Yakuza 6. Oh, I can't believe I forgot about that. So actually, I think Puyo Puyo is also pretty much confirmed to be localized by 2018 in the form of Yakuza 6. Yeah. So I think about the Yakuza games. Like, if you don't know about it, you just play as like this Japanese guy who goes around beating up people for his like some like honor or something.
I didn't know that.
Yakuza 6 is about like taking care of like a baby, right? It's pretty cool.
I didn't know. That's funny. I thought Yakuza was just like Japanese Grand Theft Auto.
Oh no! That's like Sleeping Dogs. Yakuza 6, it's like it has like a real plot to it. It's like lies and betrayal.
Whoa.
Oh wait, I guess that is Grand Theft Auto.
Well, either way, I'm gonna pick it up just for the fact that they have a Puyo minigame in Yakuza 6.
Yeah, so like in the old Yakuza games, like there's like almost always like like a Sega arcade in the game universe that you could go to and just play like emulated versions of other Sega games. So in Yakuza 6, you'll be able to go to the Sega arcade and play just a straight up port of Puyo Puyo Tetris without the Tetris
Yeah.
because that's licensed. And
What we mean by that is it just uses all the assets from that game.
yeah, so you can play like a mini version of Puyo Tetris in Yakuza 6. And what's great about this is like not only will it probably stay in the localized version coming in 2018, like since it's on the PS4, you can do share play with your friends and still have like online multiplayer.
Yep.
So I hope this like Yakuza 6 can also help us grow Puyo in the West, because if you think about it, it will also be like the first HD version of Puyo for us in the West.
Yep.
So that would be great to have, like, to bring to a tournament setting or gathering.
Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.
Hello, my name is Daniel, and my favorite Puyo song is Essence 3 from Puyo Puyo 7.
Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7. Radio Sega. 10 years as Sega is. You're listening to Radio Sega's Winterfest 2016.
Okay, S2, I got one final question before we head off here. What is your favorite Puyo song?
So, my favorite Puyo song is Everybody Fight Puyo Puyo Into the Morning. So, when I first started playing Puyo Puyo, it was on the PC version of Puyo Puyo Fever 1. And in that game, the only song that would ever play in online matches is like that track. It's also known as like Area A from Puyo Puyo 2. It's pretty classic, but like the modern version of it, it's pretty catchy and upbeat. And so like, since I would be playing the game every day, I'll listen to it over and over and over again until the point that it just engraved itself into like my mind. And wherever I walk, I just hear it, having like my blood boil to fight, even though I'm just like at church or something.